Welcome to Archive Vault, where we explore declassified records, hidden histories, and state-level investigations. Please note, some illustrative narration is AI-generated for storytelling purposes. All content is educational and documentary-based. When the relief crew entered the lighthouse, they expected explanation. What they found was order. The kitchen was not destroyed. The chairs were not overturned. The table was not set for a meal. There was no sign of panic frozen in time. The lamps had been cleaned. The reservoirs were filled with oil. The wicks were trimmed. This suggested the men had performed routine maintenance before disappearing. 2 sets of heavy oilskin coats hung by the door. One was missing. This detail mattered. The weather outside was known to be dangerous. It would have been unusual for a keeper to go out without proper protection. Yet one coat remained inside. If one man left wearing his oilskins, at least one other may have followed without full gear. The beds showed signs of use, but nothing unusual. No personal belongings appeared packed. No letters of distress were left behind. The clock inside the station had stopped. Whether it stopped during the days of absence or later was not confirmed. The silence inside the building was complete. No damage suggested forced entry. No footprints were preserved that could explain movement toward the cliffs. The relief crew searched the entire island. They examined the eastern landing. They walked toward the western landing platform, which was used for lifting supplies from boats below. There they saw physical damage. A large storage box that had been secured over 100 feet above sea level was broken open. Iron railings were bent. A crane used to lift cargo was displaced. Rope had been torn from its position. The damage indicated powerful seas had struck the rocks. Superintendent Robert Muirhead later visited the island personally. He studied the logbook entries written by the missing men. One entry described strong winds. Another described rough seas. One entry mentioned that one keeper had been unusually quiet. The final log entry, dated December 15, 1900, stated that the storm had ended and that God is over all. After that line, no further writing appears. From December 15th to December 26th, there is no recorded explanation. 3 experienced lighthouse keepers remained assigned to the island. No bodies were found. No boat was missing. No distress signal was recorded. The station was left operational but empty, and the official search produced no trace of the men. After the official search ended, explanations began to form. The first and most common theory was a rogue wave. The western landing platform showed storm damage. Supplies had been torn from their storage. Iron railings were bent. It was possible, investigators suggested, that one man had gone down to secure equipment during rough seas. If a wave struck unexpectedly, he could have been swept into the ocean. The other 2 may have rushed down to help. If all 3 were near the edge when another wave hit, all could have been taken at once. This theory became the official explanation favored by Superintendent Robert Muirhead. Another theory suggested human conflict. Later writers speculated about tension between the men. Some claim that log entries describing one keeper as quiet indicated emotional strain. Others imagined an argument that escalated near the cliffs. There is no physical evidence in the lighthouse supporting a fight. No damage inside, no blood, no recorded complaint in official documents. Still, the idea entered public discussion. Another theory proposed psychological breakdown. The isolation of lighthouse duty was known to be difficult. Long periods of silence, harsh weather, no outside contact. Some suggested that one man may have experienced instability, leading the others into danger. Again, no medical record or official testimony confirms this. It remains a later interpretation. There were also rumors of alcohol. These claims appeared in later retellings, not in the original inquiry. The official report does not document intoxication. As the years passed, the story expanded beyond practical explanation. Folklore entered the narrative. Some claimed the men were taken by unknown forces. Others described strange presences on the island. These versions appeared decades later in popular storytelling, not in the immediate investigation. Each theory attempts to fill the same gap. 3 trained lighthouse keepers disappeared from a locked island. The lighthouse structure remained intact. The sea showed signs of power, but no body was ever recovered. No confirmed witness saw the final moments. And every explanation rests on inference, not direct evidence. The official investigation was led by Superintendent Robert Muirhead of the Northern Lighthouse Board. He traveled to the island shortly after the discovery. He examined the station. He reviewed the logbook. He inspected the damaged landing area. His written conclusions stated that the men had likely been swept away by a large wave while attempting to secure equipment during severe weather. This became the accepted explanation. Weather records from nearby ships confirmed that storms passed through the region during that period. However, some reports suggest the most severe conditions may have occurred after the final log entry. There is debate about the exact intensity of the storm on December 15th. The logbook entries describe strong winds and rough seas. They do not describe panic. They do not describe immediate danger. The final entry states that the storm had ended and that God is over all. That line appears calm. It does not suggest emergency. Newspaper coverage in the early 1900s began to add details not found in the official report. Stories mentioned half-eaten meals, a chair knocked over, expressions of fear in the log. These details are not supported by the primary investigation documents. Over time, repetition turned embellishment into accepted memory. The island itself remains unchanged. The cliffs are steep. The Atlantic currents are strong. A fall into those waters during winter would make survival unlikely. Bodies lost in that region may not return to shore. No remains were ever found. No personal item was recovered at sea. No confirmed witness saw the men leave the lighthouse building. 3 keepers were assigned to duty. The relief ship arrived on schedule, delayed only by weather. The lighthouse stood operational. The interior was orderly. The western landing showed damage consistent with heavy seas. The logbook ended on December 15th. That is what is documented. What is not documented is the final moment. There is no confirmed timeline of their last steps. No confirmed location where they stood together. No confirmed reason all 3 left the safety of the tower at once. The official record offers a likely scenario. It does not offer proof. 3 men entered duty on a remote Atlantic island. The structure remained. The ocean remained. The record remained. The men did not. And beyond that point, the file closes without certainty. You are standing on a rock in the North Atlantic. There are no trees, no shelter, no village, only cliffs and waves. The Flannan Isles sit off the west coast of Scotland. The ocean around them is rough even on calm days. In 1899, a lighthouse was built on the largest island, Eilean Moor. It was built because ships had reported danger in those waters. The Northern Lighthouse Board placed 3 men there at a time. Their job was simple: keep the light burning, record the weather, maintain the station. In December 1900, 3 keepers were assigned to the island. James Duckett was the principal keeper. Thomas Marshall was the second assistant. Donald MacArthur was the occasional keeper filling in. They lived together inside the lighthouse building. Supplies were delivered by boat. Relief came on a schedule. On December 15, the passing ship Archtor reported that the lighthouse light was not visible during the night. Weather had been rough in the region. The relief vessel Hesperus was already scheduled to arrive, but storms delayed it. The sea was too dangerous for landing. Days passed. On December 26, 1900, the Hesperus finally reached the island. Captain James Harvey expected to see one of the keepers waiting at the landing platform. That was standard procedure. No one was there. A crew member was sent ashore. The path up to the lighthouse was steep and cut into the rock. When he reached the lighthouse door, he knocked. There was no answer. The door was closed. The flag was not flying. The silence was immediate and complete. 3 men were assigned to the island. None were visible. Thank you for listening to Archive Vault Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive and found it insightful. Wishing you a great week ahead, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. We'll be back soon with more stories from the archives. See you next time.